Alright, welcome to another brain project behind the scenes 11.3. I'm now realizing one downside, I think it's because my facial hair is a certain way. It looks like there's no chin. Sometimes I feel like when I speak it's like this, and you just goes like straight to like neck to chin. I don't know, I just noticed it like one time when I move a certain way up and down. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's get into this. I explained the full extent and the complications of the most complicated part about it, which is three, the selfish aspect with giving. Paradoxical and confusing. So now let's just continue through the rest of this. I'm also going to change mood switch. I realize, again, it's a lot of those things where it's like, and it needs to just be like in the speech already. Like I just need to have a phrase that pays already said right there, right? I need to, I don't know what else I changed, but I changed something else. The examples, right? Just need to already have that. Raise your hands. Let's get into the icebreaker. So we have Alex and Ryan. All right. You're gonna notice a trend in this, in that I chose four gender-neutral names. So Alex and Ryan are the parents. The kids are Jay and Bobby. Uh, I'm not gonna specify what gender they are. It's a heterosexual couple. You know, man, wife, husband, wife, and they have one boy, one girl. You decide who's who. To be honest, it doesn't really matter. But ooh, Alex and Ryan uh, have two kids, right? And they want to instill. How do you write instill? I don't think I've ever written that word before. Hey Google, how do you spell instill? Is it I-N-S-T-I-L? L-L. That sounds stupid. I'm an English teacher. That sounds stupid. Instill. It's like install. I'm gonna get into that word later. I'm gonna look up the etymology of that because that's weird. Um, they want to instill their virtues to make sure their kids are good kids. Basically, like I think every parent kind of chalks it up to, they want to make sure their kids aren't assholes. Because you hate when that happens. So, to first really instill virtues in their kids, they should get on the same page, figure out what each other's set of virtues are. How does each other react to selfishness, selflessness? Some hot chocolate. It's actually really good. Uh, so we'll get into Alex and Ryan. Yes. The thing about them is they have very different virtues. All right. Is Alex is a selfless person, fitting in the one and two, but is someone who, in the most general way of explaining it, does not give. Right? Alex is someone, and I kind of wrote down some descriptions right here. They believe they're a good person, that they're not selfish. They don't give back or donate or anything, but it doesn't think that by doing those things it makes you selfish, right? Kind of a Descartes-esque philosophy. I'm good, I think I'm good, therefore I am good. Right? That's how Alex treats this entire thing. They have the opportunity to do these things. People have invited them to events, soup kitchens, whatever you want to think of as a selfless act. They just don't do it. Right? They believe they're a selfish person, and they don't give. Right? And then there's Ryan. Ryan is Ryan is a person who believes that selflessness doesn't exist, right? They believe that they are just not only inherently but intuitively just a selfish person. Any action in the past, any present, future actions will all be on account of the interpersonal slash intrapersonal perspective in and selfishness and actions all over every single thing. But because of this, and I'll read this, Ryan believes all selfless acts are selfish, right? Because of that, they think that them, along with everyone, are not good people. And because of that, they don't give, they don't donate. It's like it, like a why make a bed mentality. You ever hear this like classic argument that children have? It's like, why should I make my bed every morning if I'm just going to, disassemble it at night? Right? Why should I do these good things when it's not saving the world? Why should I do it anyway when someone else would just do something bad? Right? Because my actions are inherently selfish given the interpersonal and intrapersonal context. Um, I shouldn't. It doesn't matter if I do any good things, right? Because they're all selfish things. I'm still a shitty person anyway. So even if I do them or not, I'm still shitty. And honestly, this is what's very unique about Ryan's point of view. It's different than these other four. They believe that if they do any of these things, if they do quote unquote give in the scenario, then that would constitute them to actually be worse, right? Because they know selflessness doesn't exist. They know that if they give, you're still going to feel like a shit person, or you're gonna try to make yourself feel better, and that's wrong, right? By doing those things, knowing that you could have done more, right? Give someone $5, why didn't you give them 10? Right? Could have done more, and still didn't. Uh, that actually, to make yourself feel good, that is honestly worse. Uh, I will get into this with the research. It's like a very unique perspective in this. And so, Ryan is 4. They're a selfish person who doesn't give. Last thing I put on here, again, has the opportunity to do these things. It's not as if the world's like there's no soup kitchens available. Like people have the opportunity. You're plugged in. It doesn't even. You're plugged in. The camcorder, I don't understand. Like it's never charged. It's never charged. It's always on low battery, and then it'll work, and then it'll just stop working. I. Whatever, man. This camcorder used to be a lifesend. Now you're a heartbreaker. All right. But again, feels bad either way, whether they do something good or not, and they believe that even when they do something good to make themselves feel good, that's actually worse than doing nothing. So in turn, the least selfish path for them is doing nothing. It's again, it sounds backwards, but that's true. And so we're gonna get into this. Really the bulk of it is kind of explaining these thought processes, but on top of mood switch, let's mix this up a little bit. I'm gonna actually, you're gonna see me do something a little different. We're gonna have up here with eliciting a certain word or phrase, right? Or getting people into certain words or phrases, and then there's going to be the truth, which will be the what do you call that? Research topic, and then there'll be the again another mini SS. of H, I, or S, whether it's happy, informative, or sad, right? I don't know, I'm just kind of putting that on there right now. We'll see if it fits. I don't know yet. So, what is the elicitation that I want to give people? Well, let's start with the research thing, because I've thought about this. This is where the mini notes come in. Let's see. Okay. Apparently did not write this down. What the heck? But I know what I want to do. I just wrote some weird stuff in there. I went to research panel. What do you call that? Discussion, study, research papers where people have talked about if they're selfish or not. Selfish or not studies. Because the bulk of this is going to rely on, well, as in, well, hopefully any speech should really rely on, and that's by proof, by backed up data that says this is true because people have literally done experiments on this before. I want to show people that this is the case. People think in one of these 4 categories, and I never really explained 2. We're still going to get to it. But people believe that they're selfish. People believe that they're selfless, right? I think we all cope with it in our own ways. We have to believe we're good, otherwise we realize we're bad. So, we're gonna do this. I think we're good. I want to elicit kind of the term of, well, funny enough, one second. Give me a second. So, I want to find and elicit a certain phrase, which I think, the phrase, talk about mood switch, kind of is a mood switch. It's the way to transition what I was just talking about into the research topic. So, again, I don't have it yet. We'll think about it in a second. We'll keep moving on. Second wind. So, this is about the children's perspective. Jay and Bobby, right? And the kids' perspective. Alright. We were talking about eliciting the icebreaker into the research portion, but I still have not thought about it yet. What word or phrase kind of bridges that gap between them? Possibly something about differences, maybe like a synonym for differences, or like opposing characteristics, virtues. Virtue. I kind of like the idea of that word virtue being a gap, because how we all live is with the, well, morals, right? But more within that is our set of virtues. What we believe makes us virtuous people, good people. So let's keep going. Second win, kids' perspective. I didn't write this down yet, but what do we have? Jay and Bobby. So, for Jay and Bobby, we're going to, I guess the kids' perspective would be 2 and 3. So, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Bobby is 3, right? What we talked about earlier, the paradoxical, selfish, doesn't believe that exists, and at the same time still gives. While Jay is 2. Not in age, but it's this idea. So we talked about selflessness, believing that you are a selfless person, that you're a good person, that good people exist, right? And unlike their parent Alex over here, who does nothing to give, they still do good things, right? This is probably the most common phrase of a good person, right? When you think of how does a person say they're good, right? They donate soup kitchens, whatever, this, that, right? Selfless acts, quote unquote, but then also believes they're a good person. I think it's very difficult, I should say, in especially the day and age we're at now, where uh, it's kind of deterred to compliment yourself or to give yourself appreciation for anything. Like think for looks, for like accomplishments, all of this, and it's hard because that fits into all of this, right? Thinking that you're a good person is a little strange to tell people I'm a good person. So you don't say I'm a good person. You say no, I did this, right? I did that. Let them infer the fact that you're a good person. In this specific point of view, selfless and give, they believe they're a good person, and they believe that it doesn't make them a bad person for saying I'm a good person, and they do acts that can back up the point of what they're saying, that they're a good person, right? So within that, it's going to be a reflection of kids reflecting on parents. So like every single child, the reason I use this is supposed to be like a layered allegorical example. So the idea of growing older is inevitable, always happens to us, but also looking at our parents and seeing their successes as well as mistakes in life and trying to avoid slash go in this pattern, right? Take the good, leave the bad. So there's that element onto these kids with 2 and 3, right? They both have 2 different points of views, but, and you'll notice the trend between them both is that they both give, they both do something. And I think that really is the determinator that we miss a lot. A lot of us, and I'll use a different color for this right here. A lot of us think it's split this way, right? There are only people that are selfless, and then there are only people that are selfish, right? No, there's a nuance to it, and within selfless people are within people there are the people that don't give, people that give. There are selfish people, people that give, people that don't give. Instead of this line right in the middle, it should be focused on. I'm not even gonna start. So we have the idea of giving, and so be like 2 and 3, not 1 and 4, really leads to a very simple sticking point, actually, which we can have as give, 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 or try. I haven't thought of it fully yet, but this is the message that I want to have people to take for the rest of their life, right? Within all people, most likely exists one of these 4, right? You're either Jay or Bobby. You're either Alex or Ryan, right? And that's the case for a lot of us, whether it's nature aspect or nurture, we fit into these categories of selfish or selfless. Personally, And, you know, the very unpopular opinion, unpopular because it's telling you that you're not a good person, is that selflessness doesn't exist, right? If you believe it exists, fine. Like I'm not gonna, I'm not pressed about it, to be honest with you. Oh, actually, we're missing A. What do we have for A? Personal journey. We're gonna change that as well. Personal journey. I think the personal journey for A, actually, I'm gonna have this, something I had in mind. It, I think we're just gonna call it grain of salt. Because this is something that, I mean, with any speech, with anything ever, it's subjective. The idea, right? Take it all with a grain of salt. This is not supposed to be something that is right or wrong for all life. This is my point of view on it, right? From my point of view, there are these four. My point of view, be like 2 and 3, not 1 and 4. So, 1 second. So, this should be about everything. Again, major concepts there are some extra things that I like. Like, for instance, the Descartes-esque in the make the bed mentality for 1 and 4. Possibly having two similar philosophy ideals within 2 and 3. I mean, to be fair, 2 and 3 is a mixture of both, so it's kind of hard to have it, but I'm just gonna say, as for those examples, I like in general. So, I'm gonna make sure to Descartes-esque, and right here, make the bed meant. There you go. As for a demographic, I gotta remember this, and time. I think I want to again keep this to 30 minutes. This one seems a little bit longer, I won't lie, just in terms of the points that I want to come across. I don't know if I'm like feeling for like a full hour. I just want to really space out each thing, see how far I can expand, and especially this research section. I have like that's going to be the real crux. I think this is the difference between 30 to 45 minutes. So I have, I'm not sure if I ever showed this actually, a little demographic thing. We're going to have it be, say, 30 to 45 minutes for right now, depending on research. 30 to 45. And this is not for 6 to 9-year-olds. Probably the youngest would be probably young adult, but even then, it's young adults. I'm a young adult. Yikes! It's not a good speech for that. For between adult to I don't know why they have elderly on here. I feel like I'm not speaking to 84-year-olds and I'm not speaking to 6-year-olds. Say adult to mature adult. So A to MA. That sounds, I feel like that's an acronym for something bad, but it's okay. A to MA. Right there. As for anything else, there's a really good song that I don't know exactly how to incorporate, but Thoughts and Prayers by Sam Henshaw. Spark Notes, Thoughts and Prayers, Sam Henshaw. Is if I actually cared, I would give more than thoughts and prayers, right? I would do more than just say, I'm so sorry, or here's just $1. If you really cared about something, if you truly had this idea of selflessness, you would do more, right? And so that it's an extra element, but I'm kind of sticking away from that and more into the selfish aspect. Never specify who's who. Balance of being a good person. I believe there is a balance in being a good person, but actually, it kind of contradicts some of the other points. The kids questioning the parents, explain the two types. You have 2 and 3, not 1 and 4. Let's see. Anything else? Point out own problems. Yeah, I think that's the devil's advocate right there. I think this is all good for the speeches. Captain Crunch is right over here. So I shall say that the big next steps, I'll put that right there. All right, is there's like no, I'm just putting random space at this point. 1, research. I gotta find research articles talking about this. 2, I gotta fully flesh out the family dynamic, right? Expand fam story, because well, it's a good idea. Again, it's just the rudimentary. I need to get into that. And then 3, a lot of it's going to be probably changing based off the past people. But oh, I didn't even say. More informative than happy or sad. But let's have 3 be a good ending. I want to find the ending, because again, eloquence and delivery. That's what we're going for here. So Captain Crush, over here. It's okay. Gotcha. I gotcha. Too late. I want you to tell everybody. I don't know. Try. Give. All right. Stare in their soul. Only stare at them. God, he's scary when he does that. He's so terrifying. Alright, wait, you get a little snack. Good job. Alright. Till next time.